Good morning, healthy habiteers. A happy, thought-provoking Thursday brought to you by my bathroom because my fiance is sleeping and I don't want to wake him up downstairs. And also this nice wrinkly scrub shirt that has been sitting in my laundry basket all week. Today is going to be about stressors, and this is touching upon one of my organic truths from Monday, staying emotionally centered. And so stress is a big part of that. So there's going to be a little paper and pen again today. Won't be as long of a video. I will post a worksheet later today for you to be able to print in the future. For now, just, it's going to be pretty simple. You can hit the pause button, write your responses. At the top of your page, I want you to write down the word stressors, and I'd like you to brainstorm the first ones that come to mind. So for me, I wrote down as two examples, being late and being unprepared. Now I want you to just pick one, and for me I chose being late, and I want you to list a number 1 through 4 on your page underneath that. The first question for number 1, why does this, being late, or whatever yours is, add stress to your life? So hit pause, answer that. For me, I wrote down that I don't like people waiting on me. Number 2, how does this affect and I want you to list 4 bullets here. I want you to write down mind, body, mouth, and movement. So how does being late affect my mind? I get anxious, my thoughts go fast. How does it affect my body? I'm tense, I'm anxious, I'm sweaty. How does it affect my mouth? Sometimes I can be so stressed about that and so fixated that I'm either mute and I just don't answer anybody, or I'm just really sharp and kind of snappy. And then how does it affect my movement? I'm just rushing, and often I'm forgetting things because I'm just trying to get out the door, and I'm clumsy. Number 3, what's the worst case scenario of your stressor, of being late? For me, I wrote, people will think I'm inconsiderate of their time. And then for number 4, where in the past does this thought come from? And as a kid, I think that we were so strict on time with going where we needed to be that I would honestly be left at home if I was not in the car, which was already pulled out into the driveway going somewhere. So I think that's kind of where it probably comes from. All right, so now I want you to, let's go back through 1 through 4. The first thing that we talked about was why does this add stress to my life? So spend some time kind of thinking about that. Number 2 is how does this affect my mind, body, movement, mouth? And those are triggers. So I want you to focus in on those triggers. So when you start to feel like you're being quiet, for me, for example, quiet or snappy, or my mind is going, or I'm clumsy and dropping things, those are your triggers that you should be mindful of and identify so that you can reflexively think, okay, this is where I am. I'm in my stressed mode. With that said, once you identify your triggers, once you identify how your body reacts to this stress of being late, then I want you to find a mantra that you can help bring you down and emotionally center yourself. So for me, 2 things work. The first thing is telling myself that I can only do one thing for one person at one time, and right now I need to focus on me. And the next thing that I do is I say, with my full attention on myself, I relax my shoulders. This is the best part, is just relaxing my shoulders. I start to visualize something that's serene and peaceful to bring my mindset back away from that buzzing, high energy place. The relaxing of my shoulders kind of slows myself so that I'm not so clumsy, I'm not so fast paced. I breathe mindfully, intentionally slowing my breathing down. And then if you want to be silly or just sometimes I even just go well, it is what it is. And just doing that can release some of that tension and that high stress situation. All right, so now look at number 3. What's the worst case scenario of your ex being late? And I put people will think I'm inconsiderate of their time. So just like the last exercise, I want you to inverse that into an affirmation to add to your list. So I would write, I am considerate of other people's time. And then where in the past does this thought come from? In my example, I want, for me what helps is to acknowledge that, like we talked about in the mindfulness series, the past is gone, the future is not yet here, and I am present. How can I change my mindset, how I speak, my physical body and my movement? How can I change all of those things, acknowledging these triggers in this present moment? So I hope this video has helped. Again, I will draft up like a little sheet for you to fill out too. But if you want to get started on this, just hit the pause button and go through numbers 1 through 4. And as always, if there's a friend that you think would benefit from this video or from joining the group, just add them in. Add them into the group. It's expanding weekly. I think that's amazing. So thanks, guys, and happy Thursday, everybody.